Hello, good evening. Welcome to today's episode. And it promises to be very, very educative and insightful. Today, we're going to talk about unemployment and marketability. We know that a lot is happening in our country and even the world, as a whole. And a lot of people are, if you see the index, let's pick the case study of Nigeria. There was a post like some years ago, and we were talking about the index of unemployment in Nigeria, and the percentage was very, very disheartening. So today we decided to say, okay, let's go into this world of marketability, unemployment, and see how we could actually contribute our quota in order to bring a shift to all of this data that is outside. But today I'm not going to be having the discussion alone. I have someone very seasoned in this line, but I would not, as much as possible, I would like to tell you a lot about him, but I think it's better for him to please introduce himself. Over to you.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome again tonight. My name is Adiola Oshibo. I'm a carpenter by profession. We make furniture, obviously. So we'll be discussing about unemployment and marketability tonight. So I hand you over again to the host and we'll comment.
I like how you said a carpenter by profession. A lot of people would, give it different names. There are different names to call carpentry, but you just went like a carpenter by profession. But trust me, you need to see all the amazing designs that he makes. So don't think it's just maybe Baba Carpenter down the road and all of that. This is exotic designs, the finishing points and everything. So thank you so much for honoring our invite, Adi, and let's go straight into the conversation. So looking at the current situation around university graduates ready to hit, the labor market as it is, because there were times where people will say it's not labor market, they say it's the favor market and all of that. What are the things that graduates need to put in check before they step into this next phase of their life?
Okay, thank you, Gbogbo Swagger. Actually, from my own standpoint, the major issue is our academic system. Our academic system is actually obsolete. The current system we're running is designed for people to go to school, graduate, and get into an existing workflow, like factory works and what have you. But the way the world has evolved, education is not as it used to be. It's not as important as it used to be. And what is being taught is not actually applicable anymore in the world of today. So graduates need to understand that they need to come out to create jobs for themselves, not try and think of going to work for someone. Unemployment in Nigeria of 2020 was about 9%.
Yeah.
2021, the projection for 2021 quarter is 33%. That is huge. Meaning, if you are looking for a white-collar job, you are going to stand in line for a long time.
Yeah, you are very correct. So I was going to ask a question before this, but I think you've answered because you were talking about the education system in Nigeria. I was going to ask that, are our present university graduates ready to hit the job market?
Come again?
I was going to ask earlier that our current university graduates, are they ready or are they fully equipped to hit the job market?
Thank you for the question. Now, I will answer it in two parts. First, our current curriculum in our educational system, in our universities, how adaptable or how relevant is it to the current global situation? That will give us a clear view if our graduates are ready or not. I can remember when I was in school, what we were taught as coding today, which is programming then, was an obsolete program.
That's true.
Which was not even applicable to our own IT then. Now, very few universities have upgraded their curriculum to meet what is going on out there. But most universities still use the same curriculum that you and I used back in our days, or even older. In physics and chemistry, I don't think what they are being taught, or what they were, how do I put it now? Let's take maybe like electrical engineering as a case study.
Mm-hmm.
There is renewable energy. There is, all other kind of breakouts under electric energy and electrical engineering. Now, the question is, our university system, are the lecturers or the professors in any way inclined to this current system that is going on in the world today? If what they are being taught in school has nothing to do with what is outside, they might think they are prepared, but when you get outside, you will have to unlearn and relearn.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
If you look out there now, they tell you education, going to school, that's the 4 walls of the university, is no longer relevant. You can learn everything online. Any graduate that comes out of school today still has to do some other new courses.
That's true.
For you to actually be relevant in the society.
You're very correct.
Then another thing is, unfortunate, a lot of graduates went into university to study what JAMB qualified them to study what situation allowed them to study.
That is the course they gave me.
Very good. Now you graduate, you come out as a graduate, and what you are qualified to become is not what you are actually passionate or you are talented at.
Yeah.
There's no way you won't struggle.
I think that's why a lot of our graduates actually come out and start selling 100% human hair, sandals, hair products, beauty products, and all of that. It's just a means to survive.
Exactly. And for every economy to even thrive, the workforce has to go beyond survival. They have to actually create services and products that people will buy that will bring employment. But most of our graduates, they want to come out of school and look for a white-collar job. And unfortunately, universities and polytechnics is the more technical part. Ideally, anyone that graduates from a polytechnic should come out and actually start his own business because you have the technical expertise. But unfortunately, everybody wants to survive. We need to look for whatever we can do to make money.
Okay. So, yeah, you are very correct. And I know we're still going to go, deeper into the conversation, concerning coming out from school and wanting to look for a white collar job, or wanting to do your own business, or wanting to just maybe hit a jackpot and, earn money, might be through Lotto or reality TV and all of that. There are different ways by which people are actually looking out, to make monies. But do you think marketability is one of the major factors that affect unemployment?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that how seasoned are our graduates with regards to the job they are trying to get employed in. Way back in, I think, 2018, I heard of a story of a graduate of computer science. During his NYSC, he was deployed to an office. A computer science graduate who does not even know how to power a desktop computer. Now, look at that. He went through school for 4 years. And most likely there was no part of the 4 years that he had an encounter with a system. Now, on that part, how does he want to cope when he comes out in the job market? That's A part. Now, the B part is this. What he was taught, how relevant is it? And him as an individual, how much development has he done to himself? To actually be able to be qualified to be employed. Also, how many job opportunities do we even have out there? So it's a whole lot of chain reaction. So
yeah, correct.
Unemployment is not so much as the employmentability of an individual as it is to availability of employment.
Yeah, I like what. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think on the flip side, we know that our education system is not favorable and it doesn't put us at a good advantage. So people that are actually going through school should know that they have to do twice the work. Like by the time, because we know that everybody needs a college degree or a university degree. While you are still studying, you should try as much as possible to look for different things to do to, have personal development. Because if you're just banking on that certificate from the school, trust me, you might wait so long. You might wait so long and not have anything. And then on the flip side, even when people come out from, university, I think they need to train themselves in the act of being marketable. Okay, I will give an example. Like, okay, we do HR resource. So we sent out an advert for people to send in their CVs for the post of, for let's say a particular post, XYZ. Now, you now have people sending you forwarded CV. How? Yeah. Then there was another one that actually made me, I was with my system and I sat and I opened my mouth. I was shocked. I didn't know when my mouth opened and dropped. The person actually took fun pictures of her resume 3 different what's it called, pictures, and sent it as CV.
Who does that?
Does actually. So I think, in as much as we know that people want to come out and get jobs, and the job limits or slots is small, you can still, groom yourself to be marketable to these people that are even looking to employ with the little space and the large pool of number. What do you think?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the question. Now, we have a lot of graduates out there. They are looking for jobs. There are jobs out there too. They are looking for employable individuals. Now, it's an equation. I need a job. You need somebody to do the job. Now, the question is this: are you fit for the job? Take my industry, for example. At the moment, we are short of installers. Installers are those that help us to put pieces of furniture together. You get people that come around, they say they are installers, but the basics, they can't even get it done without your supervision. Now, what's the essence of paying a salary to someone when you still have to be there?
The person is actually an intern.
You get, but they won't. You don't look. This and of course this cuts across all industries. Our graduates are not doing enough to make themselves marketable. They don't have that employability skills. Their interpersonal skills is zero. The teamwork is zero, especially in the white collar industry. Teamwork is, even in my industry. Okay, let me state some issues we go through. You employ someone, if he is older than a new staff, if the new staff does not know as much as what the old one knows according to how you do things, it's only logical for you to teach the person that this is how we do it here.
Yes.
Which is teamwork. But this old staff will hold the way of doing things because his mindset is, if I teach him, he becomes better than I am. But it's even a bit understandable because most of them are not educated. They are not university graduates. Now, let's go back to white-collar jobs and university graduates. For you to be employable, you have to meet some certain criteria. You don't just come out of school, you don't just graduate and think you can fit into any sector you want to work in. It doesn't work like that. Because unfortunately in our school, you are not taught employability skills. It's a self-development skill. You have to develop yourself in as much as you know what you are going to do in whichever industry you are going to. But there are still some other skills that is required. If you are good up there, if you're a smart person, if you're a smart person, you still need some other soft skills for you to actually be employable.
So how can one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So how can one equip his or herself for the labor market?
Thank you for the question. That's quite easy. It depends on the industry you're going to. because there are different employability skills for certain sectors. So whatever sector you're going into, you do your research, know what kind of employability skills that are required in that sector, and develop yourself regarding it. If it means you have to do an intern somewhere that a non-paid internship, just for you to acquire those skills so that you cannot apply to the industry or to the office you really want to get employed in. But those skills, they matter. So from my own point of view, I'll just say it has to be a self-development journey.
Okay, so let's go to the comment section and then continue our conversation. We have Olufunlola Omotayo. Welcome to Swaggerslifestyle. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We have Osioma. Hello, sir. Ma. Hello. Thank you for tuning in. 100-fold business. The unemployment statistics is alarming. You are very correct, sir. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Clifford. Hi, Clifford. He's saying hello, people. Hello, Clifford. Thank you for tuning in. So Olufumlola is saying you can learn online, but in medical field, it's not 100%. We were taught more that we needed. We were taught more than we needed. But just as you said, making yourself relevant still is key. Thank you so much for that. And she's saying, I agree with you, Gbogbo Swagger. You are the only person that can get you to where you actually want to be. That is, like you said, self-development and personal development. She's still saying there is nothing bad as an undergraduate to go for the practical aspect of what you're studying while on break. That is true. Yeah, that is what our guest, said, like take unpaid jobs, do internship. I think a lot of Nigerians don't want to hear, come and work for free to get experience. They're like, if I'm working, I can do internship, I'm earning stipend, or I'm earning nothing. But I think there are still exceptions to the rule, because there are people that actually, that heard of, that did IT without getting paid, internship without getting paid, just to acquire knowledge and also to get that experience that they need. So I think we have the ones that are serious and the ones that are just ready to they're all about the money and all of that. Ayagbade, thank you for tuning in. She's saying a lot of what is taught in school is not transferable to the actual occupation. Theory versus practical. It is very important to learn outside of the school walls too. Thank you so much for that. That's correct. Olufumlola is saying, I agree with our guest, self-development journey. We have Olabisi Osibo. Thank you for tuning in. She's saying self-development, emotional and life skills should be taught in schools to make graduates well-rounded. I think probably that needs to be incorporated with probably at Nigerian schools and maybe African schools. But, the Western world, what they have is case studies. They have, practical sessions where you're the ones that are supposed to come up. There's teamwork, because they'll tell you be in a group of 5, or in a group of 2, or in a group of 10, and this is what you should, do, and all of that, and make presentation. So thereby, they are teaching them teamwork. They are teaching them how to think outside the box, because they give you case studies where you have to, bring solutions to. So I think theirs is more practical than what they teach us in our school, which is theory. But you're very correct here. You see, a lot of things has to be put, into the educational system to make graduates well-rounded. Chinemeze, thank you so much for joining. He's saying very interesting topic. Thank you, Gbogbo Swagger, and our guests. Thank you so much, everybody. Please, if you have questions, please drop it in the comment section, and we would ask the guest. So we're talking about how to equip ourselves, like if you want to go out to look for a job. And you talked about research. Yes, but I know that there are some soft skills that graduates need. So in as much as maybe if you are going into the oil and gas, you could actually build yourself towards, that aspect of or that sector. But what are the soft skills that will be needed to work and deal with what's it called? When you want to go out, to get jobs and all of that. What are the soft skills that you need?
Thank you for the question, Gbogbo. Now, there are some fundamental skills which is functional across board, like teamwork, communication skills, reliability, management, I think those four that I just mentioned, they have breakouts. We can incorporate the other ones into what I just mentioned. Then another thing is integrity, which is very key. Your integrity level has to be very, very high. Okay, let me take my industry, for example, as a case study. I would rather employ an individual that has integrity and can learn the skill than employ someone that is skilled with no integrity. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes,
we have, like, in one way or the other, put the cart before the horse. We think skill is everything that matters. No. The example you made of the Western world putting students into class, into groups, that is teamwork. That is interpersonal skill. That is you relying on someone else to get things done. Here in our own side of the world, our university system does not even give room for that. What we are taught is all theory, no practical, and it's just not applicable out there. It is not, if you don't develop yourself after your graduation, you are just going to wait in line for a long time. Okay, me as an individual, I have a degree in project management. The industry I'm in, there is no way you are going to be in this industry if you are not skilled. If you don't go out of your way to learn something. Though there are people in the industry that they are, I'll call them the application carpenters, in the sense that they don't know anything about carpentry, but they go out there, they get the job, then they give it to those that know the skill. That's why I call them application carpenters. You understand? Now, me as an individual, I can do all these things myself. And I am self-taught, in the sense that everything I know, I taught myself to do it. I learned it both online and offline. I didn't go to a school for it. Even most of my staff that went to school, most of them, when they were in secondary school, their mother took them to carpentry shops and they learned it. But I taught myself. I still do things better than they do. So for any graduate, especially if you graduate in a Nigerian university, it is very key for you to go back and learn and relearn and unlearn a lot of things, especially in the industry you are concentrating on. Because our system, honestly, I don't think is relevant with what is going on in the world today.
That's very true. And I like how you talked about integrity. Integrity. I think integrity is missing. Okay, I really do not have the statistics, but if I could just give like maybe based on interactions with people, I think out of let's say 100%, when we look at our country, we have say maybe 10% of people living in this country that have integrity. The remaining 90, they don't have integrity at all. So I liked when you said that it is not about knowing the job, it's not about having all the skills, but it's about having integrity, because that in itself is key. When you have integrity, every other thing that you have is like a plus. You understand?
Yeah.
So I really like that. I like that what's it called? That point that you raised. That's a very, very profound point. So everybody, if you have integrity issues, please try as much as possible to work on it, because integrity is key. It will take you to places that you can't even imagine. And that's the truth. And then, I would like to add that in as much as you have all these other skills that, you learn and all of that, you talked about someone that studied computer science and the person never know how to turn on a system.
Yeah.
That's sad. So I think a lot of people too should start learning how to be IT savvy. Not like you should go and learn how to be coding and all of that, but at least to operate a system. You should know like the normal or basic Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and all of the what's it called, like the office application that you would use to make your job better. Because a lot of people it's just like, so because I think employers now, they like employing people that can actually, they're more or less like utility staff. They can work in different departments, they can multitask, they can do, a lot of things. Because it's, if you see maybe, what's it called, a medium scale organization now, you would not expect the person to go and employ a secretary that will be just typing. So what are you there for? You just come and have written letter, you type and give to me. No, you are the one that will type the letter. You are the one that will draft the letter. So your communication and your writing skills must be top. You must be on top of, yes, must be on point. You must be on top of your game. You will be the one to type it. You will be the one to print. In fact, you will even be the one to go and deliver and do follow up. So all of this, one needs to learn, how to be marketable in that aspect and learn all of these things. Like there are so many courses that are online that are free. And they are actually, like you said you learned online and what's it called, hands-on. So you should be able to, you could write and, give someone that you trust, what do you think about this and all of that. And, take that. In fact, some people tell me that they learned a lot of things through YouTube. And yet, like, as you're watching us now, you're learning. So, you can just click on YouTube and learn. So, okay, now, so we have a lot of people that have advanced in, years, and they are still within the, what's it called, the employable age. So what are the skills people over 30 years would need to compete in this new work environment that favors young graduates? I like that.
like the usual requirement for employment that we hear these days, that the person has to be less than or 21 and have 5 years.
5 years of experience. How?
Okay, it's like, you understand, how is that? Now, talking about that, if one is advanced in age, the only advantage you can have is to be overqualified. Meaning, you are not only qualified for the post you are applying for, you should be qualified for other things. Like the example you made the other time, that the secretary is the letter drafter, is the follow-up drafter, is the office messenger, everything in one, multitasking. Now, the way the world has evolved, it is one person is not restricted to only a job office, in the sense that this is what you do and this is what you do only. The more tasks you can accomplish, the better for the organization.
That's true.
So if an organization sees two people's CV, one is very good at a particular task, and the other one is good at 4 different tasks, but their qualification or their requirement is this person has to be 21 years old and has to have so number of experience. But they see this person is 35 and he can actually multitask in 4 different job offices or different posts. Even though he's 35, they will look at it that he can replace the 3 other people that we are looking to employ. So one person, we can pay one person for a job post of 4 people. So that is an advantage for you. So for anybody that is above age, the only thing that will be an advantage for you is to be overqualified. That is to have a whole lot of skills attached to whatever qualification you have. That will be your advantage.
And then we put a full stop. QED.
Yes.
In fact, you hit the nail on the head. For what's it called? All those people that have advanced in age and they are competing within the the circle of the young graduates, be overqualified. Ensure that by the time the employer or the HR person handles your CV, they are just saying, this is the person that we need. So if you think that what you've learned, like probably maybe like some 10 years ago is what you just put there and go, you're not ready. Yeah. So please, self-development, personal development, keep acquiring knowledge and keep studying, for the next level. Now, for jobs that require work experience, are there ways students can get that experience and still focus on their education?
Thank you for that. This depends on an individual. It depends on how you see yourself. It depends on your attitude towards life, because basically it is where you want to go determines how you do your daily life. Because when you are in school, whatever you are studying, you want to actually get out, be a graduate, and build your career in it. It is ideal for you to, in one way or the other, intern in that line of study, so that there is the practical aspect, there is the theory aspect, there is the in-depth. You already know what this thing entails even before you graduate. You shouldn't even think about the money aspect. Do it for free. If you want to build a career in any line of work, go to any company that you know does that. Tell them you are going to work for free. They will employ you, because everybody is looking for freebie. They will employ you. It is to your own advantage eventually. And you will even be surprised that if you are so good at what you are doing as an intern there, they'll be paying you, yet you still be going to school. By the time you graduate, you already have a job. But unfortunately, our system is not doing our graduates right, or even our people right. Everybody is looking for money. So nobody wants to do any free work.
There's supper outside.
Even those that you want to train to have knowledge of things, they're asking you to pay them for being trained. That is how bad it is.
Oh,
that is how bad.
I think it boils down to value system. What do you think?
Yes, it is the value system. Our system needs a reboot. Okay, like in our industry, we plan to empower lady carpenters and upholsterers. We did this project last year, and the ladies that came in to be trained, they were asking how much we will pay them. After this training, if you do well, you will get your own sewing machine. We'll establish you to a level, because we lack these skills in the industry. These girls were asking how much we will pay them for learning the skill that will put food on your table
and help your life.
And so it's this employment issue is beyond just jobs and certificates. Our value system has eroded and it needs to be restored. I think that is what we should even be teaching in schools now, not even academics.
How are we going to teach this in school when even the lecturers don't have values? So who is going to teach?
That's the unfortunate thing. Whatever the teacher is what is going to pass it on to the student.
But I think that the problem starts from the family.
Yes, to a large percentage. Because I've heard of parents who actually go their way to pay for exam malpractice, for SSC, GSC.
GSC.
Yes. So tell me, how will this student or this child think there's any point in working to obtain marks or study to actually pass exams? So it's a huge decadence that we need to actually fix. Then another thing regarding unemployment is we need to teach our youth or those in the employable age that there are things you can start from where you are. You don't have to look for a white collar job. You don't. Since I graduated, I have never used my certificate to earn a naira.
I would like to say I don't think so, because even the what's it called, the industry that you are in now, that certificate that you have is helping you.
Yes, to an extent, which is the aspect of management. But what I mean is, I did not do a 9 to 5.
Well, I get you did do a 9 to 5, but you are self-employed and you're working in your own organization. So, and you're paying yourself.
Yeah. But I started a business. I didn't look for a white collar job.
I was just pulling your legs, actually. I was just pulling your legs, actually.
Yeah. So it's good
to be on a lighter note, actually, because we started getting all too serious and, having that professorship, kind of just like, okay, let me just throw this in to ruffle the feathers a bit. But over to you.
So our system needs to be overhauled, basically. Our home values, our societal values, everything needs to be reorientated. Parents are not doing justice. They are not putting the children right. Like the parent that is going ahead to pay for a child's exam malpractice, how do you expect this child to grow up and think he has to work for what he's going to earn? He wants to look for it on a free platter. He doesn't want to do anything to get it done. So this child goes all the way through school, paying his way for grades. And do you think this child, when he graduates, he wants to work somewhere? Or even if the mother or the father eventually gets him a paid job, how is he going to cope? What does he know? In no time, they are going to kick him back on the street.
That's true. And then on the flip side, we have the parents that have the lives of all their kids planned. They, like you said, they help them through the malpractice. They help them through university. When they are done, they would actually even put them in jobs that they are not even they are not they can't even jobs that they are not experienced for, or jobs that they are not even required to have. And then you will see the system, with different things happening. When the people that do not even know, you'll be surprised that you will see people that are handling positions that they do not even know anything about. And when you have meetings with them, you're wondering that what is this person doing in this position? But when you sit down and you check, you see where the parents has fixed them in different places. And the truth is that it is affecting the society as a whole. Because if we keep recycling these people over and over again, I think that is the problem of Nigeria currently. Because people are in positions that they're not supposed to be there.
True, very true. Very true.
So even if you want to put your child in XYZ position, ensure that child is equipped for that position and can handle everything that comes with it. Because if we keep doing this, we are going to, I don't want to, say negative things about the country, but we're actually heading towards disaster. Yeah. Let's go to the comment section. So we have Olufumilola saying, for example, there is compulsory 1-year internship for some departments before youth service, doctors, pharmacists. Yes, that's very true. You have to do internship, then after internship, you have to do housemanship. So I think probably maybe of all the whole industries, probably it's the medical line that are really, really taking things serious, as regards building up doctors and giving them the experience, that they require. So Olufunlola is saying integrity will get you a recommendation. You're very correct.
Yeah.
Hola. Oh, hi. Thank you for joining and tuning in. We have Madam Olufunlayo. Hola. Thank you so much for tuning in. So she's saying blame the erosion of our values on fast money things, show off, pepper them gang, Yahoo, etc. You are 100% correct. Because even now, when you speak to these young graduates, they tell you when you ask them now, what do you want to become? Where do you see yourself? They just tell you, I just want to make money. Okay, how do you want to make the money? I just want to blow. That's the word. Okay, how do you want to blow? Anyhow, I will blow. And then you see some of them saying how they want to sing. Sing what? Just to blow. Or you see them saying how they want to go and do one form of reality TV, or they want to go into acting. I'm not saying all of this, what's it called, sectors are bad, but why are you going there? Just to blow. And you know, when you have that as when you have that as your goal, you don't mind doing anything.
Anything. True.
You don't mind doing anything. So what Fumi is saying is very, very correct. I think this is one of the issues too. People do not want to go through the process. And the funniest thing is that, you know, when we have all these parents that are positioning their kids and putting them, they've gone through the process. So why won't you allow your kids to go through the process and become better individuals, even to the society and even, you know, for themselves as, you know, individuals and humans, and then to the society? But reverse is the case. So we have Olu Fumlola saying, thank you, our guest, that youth should start doing something like Gbogbo Swagger. Oh yeah, please, if you want to start a YouTube channel, please start. But before you start, ask yourself, why do I want to start this YouTube channel? What do I want to do? The why. It's not about I just want to start. You need to know what you are doing and why you are doing what you're doing. So what do you tell someone who has given up on finding full-time work after a lengthy search?
Okay, thank you for the question. Now, you can't continue to stay at home. You'll go hungry. So obviously, you need to look for a source of income. I would make I'll make an analysis. Every manufacturer creates a product to solve a problem. Every product is a solution to a problem. Now, this is a characteristic that God put in man. Every man has in him or her the ability to create solution to a problem. Now, unfortunately, our system in this side of the world has configured us in such a way that we always look for the easiest way out, which is somebody has already cooked it. Let me go and eat. We don't want to look for the ingredients to cook so that we can allow somebody else to eat. If you have grown past the age of employment in quotes, or you have searched for work and it's not forthcoming, it's time for you to sit down and think inwards. We always ask, or we always say, there is no capital. There is no money to start a business. Money is the least of the issues to start a business. An idea is the first thing. Now, if I have an idea to build maybe like a skyscraper of about 100 rooms that is going to cost me maybe like $100 million or 100 million, whatever, like a huge amount. And at the moment, I don't have that money. That does not stop me from looking at something else that I can start right now to develop myself and start building money to actually build the hotel. Always start small. When you start small, you learn in the process. You know where all the curves are. You know where all the loopholes are. You know where all the potholes are. That way, when your business expands, the challenges don't overwhelm you because you have already learned along the way that when this happens, this is the solution. When this happens, this is the solution. And another thing, our system has tagged some jobs that it's demeaning. Whereas when you go to the West, you do the same thing. You do the same job. But you don't want to do it here because you feel, or the society has tagged it demeaning. If you have yourself, if you have a focus and you know where you're going to, it does not matter what you are doing now. It's a detour. It's just a turn off the path you are going. It's temporary. It is only when you don't have a vision of where you are going to that whatever you are doing now will matter to you. Let's take this an example. You are going to your house. You are driving to your house, and you get to you are going through your irregular route, and there is traffic or there's a diversion, and they tell you turn left, go and pass another route. You are still heading to your house. You won't say because there's a detour there, you are going to turn back to wherever you are coming from. Because you know you are going to your house, you know your destination. So that's the same way it is. If you have an idea, a big idea of what you want to do, but you don't have the funds to start it, start small. Whatever business you want to do, if the major business is going to cost maybe like 50 million, if you have 5,000 naira, think of a business that you start with 5,000 naira that will start to generate funds. Along the path, you obviously start to accumulate money. Then there's another aspect that we in this part of the world, we don't understand, which is planning. If you have a business idea, you need to do everything that has to do with the feasibility studies. You have to plan that business. You have to sit down, think as if you have the money in your account. Do everything that needs to be done. How much is going to take? How much is going to cost? If you are selling commodities, where am I going to get it from? What is the cost of landing? How much am I going to sell it? What's the duration of time I'm going to recoup my money? You have to do all of that, detail it to the last bit. You will be surprised at how favor will come when you do that. Because when you do that, in a sense, you already know what it takes. And that way, it builds your confidence. You know for a fact that you can actually get this thing done. So when you have all of that, it's easy for you to talk to someone. I have this business idea. When they ask you questions, you can answer them because you have done your due diligence. Nobody wants to invest in any business that it's just by mouth. They need to see statistics. They need to understand that, okay, this thing is going to work, this thing is not going to work. Anybody that wants to give anybody money for business needs to be sure that he's going to recoup his money. So back to the question, anyone who is tired of looking for 9 to 5, older than age of 9 to 5, you need to start doing something for yourself. There is a skill that you have that is marketable, that you can convert to money. Start with it.
Thank you so much for that. And I would like to add some few things to what you said. And what are those things? No shortcuts in life. And do not look for, yes, no shortcuts in life. And also, do not cut corners. You will burn yourself. And then another thing where we do not really embrace in this part of this world, but is key in in developing our brand and all of that, and that is collaborations. You need to collaborate with other people. You can't just sit down and make all the money. Because sometimes it's out of greed. Okay, so if I call this person to come and work on this project, I will have to pay 30%. How? I can do it, I can execute. But when we learn to collaborate with other people, you will see that you will even earn more, because you'll be able to handle 2, 3, 4 projects at the same time. So that is more money for you than you are the one handling one project, because you can't take other projects on because you just want to earn. So people should look towards that, aspect. And I think I was going to ask you that, what's the period of looking for a job? I was going to say maybe within a year. If you've not gotten a job within a year, look inwards. Don't wait until 10 years you're searching, 5 years you're searching, 15 years you're searching before you now said I've been searching. So what have you been doing for 15 years?
Well, I'm an advocate of self-employment, basically.
I know.
Anyone that comes to me, I try as much as possible to actually tell them, why don't you go back and rethink? I believe in self-employment than 9 to 5. You doing 9 to 5, it's repetitive. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over. And I don't know. There are people that want to build careers. There are people that want to do some certain things that it's not easy to be self-employed in. And there are people that say they want to get experience. It's true for something. For some industries, you don't need all that. You can go all out. Put your mind to it, believe in yourself, and you will achieve a lot. But in this side, we don't believe in ourselves. A lot of us, we don't have that self-esteem to carry yourself and say, I can do this. And this has a whole lot to do with the society. The value system in the society is turned head down. We don't value things that are actually true, things that are actually valuable. We do more of material valuation.
That's true.
The society will always respect somebody that has money over someone that has integrity. This is a stark, warped mindset. So because you want to be accepted, you try as much as possible to do everything to get money. And now, unfortunately, when the society now knows the source of your money, they don't give you any value. So now, is that not a rat race?
It is.
You want to be accepted by the society. You do the wrong things. They find out you have done the wrong thing. Now they don't value you. So we just need to understand what our what we are actually doing. And of course, for every individual, putting food on the table, blessing others, and getting a whole lot done is very important. And as the Nigerian system is at the moment, there is no 9 to 5 out there for a fresh graduate. You have to have exceptional skills. As a fresh graduate, you have to have exceptional skills. So instead of running around town, if you don't have the exceptional skills, looking for a job, why don't you look inwards? There is one thing for you to do or the other. Look inwards. That will still put food on your table, and you might still be looking for your job. But at the same time, begging at least, you'll be able to afford things. And you'll find out that by the time you start this hustle, you just look at yourself. Why am I looking for 9 to 5? My time is flexible. I'm making money. Please hold your job. Let me start my own hustle.
Yeah, you're very correct. Now, so for graduates who are looking to be entrepreneurs, what are the skill sets they would need to sell themselves and their brand?
Thank you for the question. Now, being an entrepreneur is different from being self-employed. They are two different things. Now, if you want to be self-employed, it's a different ballgame. You graduate from being a self-employed individual to an entrepreneur. Now, of course, for fresh graduates, they will be self-employed before they become entrepreneurs. Firstly, whatever you want to be self-employed in has to be your passion. You have to be passionate about that thing. Because when the chips are down, when there's no money, it is your passion that keeps you going. And the passion you have for whatever you are doing, it helps you to be creative, and it helps you to deliver quality and not quantity. Because if you're not passionate about something, you just want to do it for the sake of money. You do it, it's done, you collected your money, you are off. You don't care what the delivery is. You don't care the quality of delivery. You don't care what it looks like. And when you do the first one, you do the second one, you do the third one, the greatest form of advertisement is word of mouth. Now, if let's take my industry as a case study. You're a carpenter that is not passionate about what you are doing. You just want to do a cabinet, make money, move on. You can only sustain it for a while. People will start saying, this guy, no way. His job is tacky. After a while, his job falls apart. You're getting a bad name. After a while, nobody wants to give you a job. You start to look for jobs. You look for clients all over. But when you do a good job, one good job, okay, my company, for example, excuse me, my company, for example, we have not done advertisement. We've not done marketing in whatsoever way, except our Instagram page. Most of what we live on is referral. So if you're a graduate and you want to be self-employed, whatever you're doing, you have to be passionate about it. Because your passion births creativity. Your creativity and your delivery is going to be on point because you will deliver quality, because you know this is not what I'm supposed to deliver because of your passion for it. And you're not thinking about the money. You just think, I need to do this thing very perfectly and deliver it to the client. Excuse me, please. So for young graduates or for anyone that wants to become an entrepreneur, make sure whatever you're doing, you're passionate about it. That is very key. Because it is your passion that will actually take you through tough times. And they will come. Tough times will come. It definitely will. The entrepreneur jungle, I call it a jungle because it's a jungle. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted. So if you're not passionate about what you're doing, when you see the first lion in the jungle, you are out. You are out. You go and look for a 9 to 5. You go and carry your CV. Me, I know they do this one. No. Let me go and look for 9 to 5 because it's a jungle. It's a jungle. So your passion is your only defense, is your only encouragement. Then you must actually know what you're doing. Learn as much as you can on whatever you want to be an entrepreneur. In whatever, your passion must be on point, then you must learn it. You must actually know it. So those are the two things
that are very key and paramount to
anyone that wants to be self-employed or be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So for people looking to start their own business, what do they need to do before they start?
If you're not, well, it depends on the industry you're going into. I will advise, if you are not a DIY person, that's do-it-yourself person, if you cannot self-teach yourself, sorry about that, if you cannot be self-taught, it's better you intern with someone that is already in that line of business. Forget about the pay. If the person pays, fine. If the person doesn't, you're learning. And if the person asks you to pay, pay. As long as you know you're passionate about it, you know you can actually do it, you have a vision of what you're going to be when you go in that line. Do whatever you can to learn. It is very, very key. It is important. And when you start off, make sure you structure. If you don't have a structure online, when you are just growing, when you're at a certain stage, you will have made a lot of mistakes that structuring would have saved you in the past. Then another thing is, of course, under structure is still the same thing as when you start off. The most difficult part of it is separating your business money from your personal money. That's the most difficult part of it. Because it is you, yourself, and I. Or me, myself, and I. So whatever the company is making, now me they make out.
Chief accountant, CFO.
So you tend to get lost along the way. You spend the company money, your needs are there, quite all right, but you need to actually put some things in place so that you don't mess the whole thing up.
Thank you so much for that. So how can you sustain your brand and make it grow?
Quality is the watchword for any brand. It depends on what service or product you are putting out there. If you are creating a product, your quality of product is key. If you are creating a service, your quality of delivery of the service is key. Your customer relations is very important. Very, very important. Then when you're starting off, make sure you deliver more than is paid for. That is the way to retain a customer and to help you spread. That is free advertisement for you. Deliver more than is paid for. Let the client always think they get more than what they are giving, more than they paid for. That is free advert for you, especially as a startup. That is very important. Then after sales service, customer relations, quality, timely delivery, those are important things to sustain a brand and to grow a brand.
Thank you so much. So let's go to the comment section. Chinemeze is saying, patience is one scarce virtue now. Patience and integrity is key. Olufunola is saying, thanks our guests for all the wonderful points. It is so educative. Thank you so much for this feedback. She's still saying, big idea, start small, planning, all in caps. Thinking as if you have the fund. I have learned a lot tonight. Thanks for coming. Remain blessed. Thank you so much for this feedback. Chinemeze is saying, I agree totally. Start small. There's always a subset of anything one wish to become or achieve. Chiku, thank you for tuning in. He said, very good question. I think that was when I, asked the question about the skill sets that entrepreneurs need to have before they start. So we have Wale Awo. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, sir. True, quality is key, driving towards excellence. Thank you so much, sir, for that feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ade, for sharing your wealth of experience with us and your wealth of knowledge, and also for bringing into the limelight some of the experiences that you have as an entrepreneur to be able to buttress, this discussion that we're having today. So in conclusion, what would you like to tell us? Because the truth is, I have learned a lot today. I have learned a lot, and I'm taking so many points, to bear, and I have to now translate into my business, my life, and also for those people around me in order to, move them to the next level and the next phase of their life. So in conclusion, what would you like to tell us?
Okay. In conclusion, I will tell people that your attitude towards life matters a lot. If you believe in where you're going to, there is absolutely nothing that can actually veer you off course. And your attitude towards life is what takes you to wherever you're going to. A cup that the water is filled halfway can either be half full or half empty. Depends on the attitude of who is talking about the cup. So in as much as our environment seems to be gloomy, that things are not working here, things are not working there. In the midst of it, there are lots of opportunities out there. There are lots of opportunities out there. Like, I would give a few examples. In golf, When you are asked to play a ball in golf, they tell you not to look at the obstacle. Because when you look at the obstacle, you hit the obstacle. The mind, the brain cannot conceive negative.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you say something negative, it starts to think about that negative thing. So have you noticed that if you want to buy something, the moment you start thinking of that thing, you start seeing it around.
That's true.
That is the same way it is. When you start to think about opportunities, you start to see those opportunities around. But when you start to think about challenges, you start to see challenges around. Your attitude towards life is what takes you to anywhere or wherever you're going to. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is so profound. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough, but thank you so much. And to all our guests, all our viewers that joined us today, that put in their comments and their questions and feedback, thank you so much for tuning in and joining. And also what I would like to give as a summary to recap is integrity is key. Please ensure you have that value system. It will help you. And also self-development, personal development. Keep learning. And also there are some things that you need to unlearn to relearn. Try as much as possible to drop those things and relearn new things in order to make your life better and push you forward. And also start small. Before you start any business, why? Are you passionate about it? Because if you're passionate about certain business, it's not about the money. It's about you delivering. It's about you giving your best. It's about quality that our guests, spoke about. So please, before you start any business or before you want to jump into being either self-employed or an entrepreneur, why? Why are you doing what you want to do? Why are you going into that business line? And also, are you passionate about it? Because it gets to it, because business or being self-employed has different stages. There's the teaching stage, there's the planning stage. There are different, stages. And also speak to people that you trust about it before you venture into it. I know that there are going to be challenges, but when the challenge comes, know that you are seeing the future and things are going to be better for you. And with that, your brand is going to grow and to be very, very sustainable. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you next time, 9 p.m. And this time around, we're talking about how to care for the aged. We know that a lot of us have that issue. We have a lot of people around us that are old and we neglect them. We don't take care of them, or we don't know how to take care of them. We don't know how to, cater to them and all of that. So we are bringing someone in that, that has experience in that line, social line, and is going to be talking to us how to care for the aged. The aged might be your parents, it might be your aunt, it might just be your neighbor, it might be a church member, it might just be someone that you're living with. You need to care for them. They shouldn't be neglected because they need all the love and care. So till I see you next time, stay true to yourself. Integrity is key. Thank you so much, Abby, for tonight. I really appreciate it. And let's take the final, comments. We have Olufumlola saying, good attitude towards life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for your feedback. Take care. See you next time, 9 p.m. Stay true to yourself. Integrity is key. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.